Welcome, friends. This is Emmy, and I'm excited to be with you for part 2 of Monotangle Mondays and more. And you and I are together on the Zen with Emmy YouTube channel. So let's talk about color, because that's what we're going to do today. And in talking about color, I want you and we should always remember that we are learners, we're beginners. We need to have patience with ourselves, and we will get better at what we're doing if we allow ourselves that grace. Yesterday, in the last video, we worked on this pattern called Hamsix, and we worked on a pattern called Ah. If you have those, or if you would, watch that video, because that's what I'm going to be working on here today. This is the pattern Hamsix that we did together, and this time I've colorized it, and that's what we're going to work on together. Now, I did this in oranges and greens. It's also on gray, so that's going to change it up quite a lot. This one that I practiced on is yellows and oranges, same shades, but look how different that is. And partially, obviously, you can tell it's different because of a lot of things, but one of the major reasons is because of the gray background. That's just going to change things up quite a bit. So I'd like to talk to you about what we're going to use for supplies today. I'm not going to use those yellows. Instead, I'm going to use the blues. I'm going with the blues today. It's a gloomy day here where I am, and I'm looking out at a lot of good, interesting looking sky, and it's very, very hot, and I hope you're keeping cool wherever you are. Oftentimes, I recommend these Prisma colors. This is a basic set of 12. It's a scholar set. You can get this online at Amazon or wherever. You can also, I have put a link to it if you want to get a slightly better set of 24, which would allow you even more colors. So I went to a basic one without all of the designs around it because I'm going to practice my color today. And I'm going to grab my darkest pencil. And I am using a good cardstock, and I've got them, as you can see, super sharp. I keep my sharpener handy because I'm getting into some small places on this Hamsix. Your color pencil has 3 colors. It has a very light color, it has a medium pressure color, and you can get quite a lot of dark out of it with this pigment. This is a very deep color, so you can get all 3 of these out of one pencil, any pencil. It's just all in how hard you press. So the first thing I'm going to do with this Hamsix pattern is I'm going to go all over it and wash in a light blue. And before I get 1 minute further, I want to add some of my gorgeous shading in here because that matters. So I did not add that ahead of time. So I'm going to grab my softest pencil. But grab any pencil you have, and in your fold area, I'm going to add this beautiful, beautiful, luscious shading so that it indicates a fold even more. I'm going to go back with my blender stump in just a minute and push this shading out so that it diffuses into the white cardstock that I'm using today. So now I've gone around and I've added some of that wonderful shading. I'm going to take a minute with my blender stump, and if I didn't have that handy, I would just use my finger or a Q-tip, and I'm going to push this out all the way around. Push until it diffuses into the paper. It will leave us a dark area closest to the fold, and then it will diffuse out and allow us quite a different look. Okay, so let's go back to the blue again. So all I'm going to do is in the lightest pencil, I'm going to go round in a circular motion, and I'm going to leave that middle divot light, that rice grain that we did in the last video. Working around in circles. You probably can barely see it. All I'm trying to do is get a wax base on here in a friendly color. What I mean by friendly color is it's in the shades of the blues that I'm going to end up with. So I do kind of leave it a little bit lighter toward the middle of each of these so that I can have a bit of a light source in here. Now that's just in the eye of the beholder. That's just something I like to do. No, you don't have to do that. You might prefer to have the lighter one on the tip and have that be your light source. Or you might not prefer to have one at all as you're practicing. You can see I'm working in a circular motion. I'm just getting it on, getting the color on here very quickly. Not being overly careful, just getting color on it gives me a base to work with. Switching to my medium blue, and again, I want these all very, very sharp. I'm getting into some pretty small divot areas, and I'm going to go from the middle and push up, and round and round and round I go in circle fashion. The wax is starting to be a bit of a float sensation, which is what I'm looking for. This means that it's going to push around a lot easier for me. And you can see my light source in the middle there is just what I was hoping for. It's going to be a kind of a luscious, very light blue. So you can see I'm going from light to medium, and the last one will be dark, and I can go over these as many times as I want. Circular motion means that I will be getting in all of my little divot areas, those little tiny areas that are so hard to get color into. Doing a large pattern like this is a big help with going over it several times. You'll begin to see what you like, and you may, and like I said, may end up going over this a few times. I'm applying medium pressure here. I would jokingly say to you that this is a really good way to keep your pencil sharp, working on the side as I am. Now that I've laid blue on all of them, I'm going to go to my darkest blue. And it's still not a midnight blue. It's got a lot of pigment in it, so I don't have to go and push very hard. I can continue with a light push. Not too much pressure at all. Going right over those other shades that I had on there before, and the wax buildup means that it is blending in real nice. Pretty, pretty, pretty color. It becomes a new color when I do this. So you feel free to pause me at any time while I meander around here in my circular motion. Okay, now what I do is I start back with my lightest shade again, although this is quite pretty as it is, don't you think? I'm going to go over all of it now with my lightest blue. So I start again with my color scheme. Filling over and pushing the color around. You see how it's blending up and changing as I push the color, and I'm working with, I would say, a medium, even a little bit of a heavy pressure with this lightest color. Again, a circular motion, quite quick, getting the divots. Going over all of it now because my light source has been created. And I think I'm back to the start here. It's so addictive. I just love doing this. I hope you enjoy it too. So I'm going to grab my medium and I'm going to go around it one more time with the medium blue. Push some color around again. And this time I'm being much more careful. I shouldn't have to push very hard at all on this color because there's more pigment. And then my darkest shade. And I'm going to pay particular attention to getting pigment into those little areas of the fold. Working a little bit different kind of a stroke on this too. But you notice that the color is just carrying throughout now because the wax buildup is what's allowing this to happen. I just love my Prismas. I just love it. I don't have my initials on it, but I feel like I should. I have worked so hard on this. So I'm going to take a minute and put my chop on, even though it's just practice. And if I had any colors that I wanted to darken while I've got this pen, I would go back over them and darken any of these shades that I feel like have gotten too much too much of the wax on it. But I don't really see too much today. I just love how this has turned out. And I hope you do too. And I hope that you enjoyed our work today. Like the video and subscribe to my YouTube channel. And I hope to see you again for more videos. Happy summertime. If you're out here in most of the world right now, it's very warm, so keep cool. Bye.